As societies grew bigger, the need for laws became essential. It's all about keeping things cool and orderly. The scene shifts to a messy room. Clothes are scattered and the tension is thick. Something intense is about to go down. A man, tied and desperate, offers anything to his captor. His hands are clenched, fear evident in his voice. Kneeling and bound, the man's face is blurred, but his desperation is crystal clear. Laws are meant to bring justice, but here, coercion has a dark twist. Someone in the shadows finds this amusing. A figure looms with a weapon, enjoying the fear in the room. The tension is palpable. With a lick of the blade, the captor mocks, questioning why he's being called sir. Clearly, he's not the gentleman type. Owning up to his role, the captor declares himself a criminal. No sugarcoating here. Seated with a chilling aura, the captor's presence is menacing. The room feels smaller, the danger closer. The tied man sits helplessly, the atmosphere heavy with dread. Laws are supposed to stop criminals like this guy, right? But in this room, they seem far away. In a dimly lit room, a character is taunted with harsh words, questioning if he's truly respected. The conversation takes a dark turn as the aggressor mockingly mentions stabbing the other's wife, adding a twisted sense of humor to the situation. Amidst the taunts, a woman is seen lying on the floor, bleeding and unconscious, heightening the gravity of the scene. A voice, dripping with sarcasm, comments on how hilarious the victim's father is, adding fuel to the already burning fire. In a desperate plea, a character promises not to make a fuss and offers to keep the police out of it. The desperation peaks as he offers all his account numbers, trying to salvage the dire situation. The blade glints dangerously in the air, a sign that things are about to get real messy. With a loud impact, the tension in the air snaps like a breaking twig. A guy is tied up, looking like he's in a real tight spot. Someone's got a firm grip on him, and there's a knife involved. Someone's cackling away, calling out the tied-up dude for trying to stab his wife. Not cool, man. Enter our red-haired hero, who's clearly not impressed. He's ready to dish out some well-deserved payback. With a fiery declaration, the red-haired character is all set to avenge his auntie. A shadowy splash marks the floor. Things just took a dark turn. Eyes wide with shock, another character is caught in the chaos, clearly not expecting this wild ride. The tied-up guy looks like he's been through the ringer. Now, in the reflection of a wide, teary eye, we see a dramatic scene unfolding. The name Songjin is whispered, hinting at a deep connection or betrayal. A bound individual is revealed, sitting on the floor, tied up with green tape. The plot thickens as someone tries to justify a heinous act, confessing they didn't expect a man to stab his own wife. A mysterious figure, partially hidden in the shadows, leans forward, wearing a dark jacket. Their intentions are unclear, but a chilling promise is made, not to lie this time. A close-up of red hair, drenched in darkness, adds to the suspense. What's this character plotting? The tension heightens with a sinister smile, and a Korean character sound effect emphasizes the dramatic moment. The shocking command to stab your dad is revealed, pushing the tension to its peak. Blood stains and a knife hint at the violence about to unfold. The bound individual, teary-eyed and gagged, reacts with sheer panic and disbelief. The situation is dire, and emotions are running high. A close-up of the gagged face shows desperation as the tension builds towards an inevitable climax. Finally, a gunshot rings out, the sound echoing through the scene, leaving us hanging on the edge of our seat. Police burst into the scene, guns drawn, shouting for everyone to put their hands up. The corridor is tense, echoing with urgency. Two men are crouched down on the polished floor, one holding a knife, both trapped under the watchful eyes of the law. A voice rings out, declaring they've captured John Jongtae. Things are getting serious. The police are all over John, pinning him down, making sure he doesn't wriggle free. Jian winces and pleads, "It hurts, be kind to me," but the cops aren't having it. Jian, tied up and looking worse for wear, insists again, "I said it hurts," but sympathy seems scarce. There is a moment of reflection, a belief that the law would take care of him. But is it enough? The scene shifts to a grand courthouse, standing tall against a bright sky. The verdict is out. John Jongtae is handed a sentence of 12 years and 8 months in prison. As John stands in court, murmurs ripple through the crowd. Why only 12 years for 2 lives? Voices in the courtroom. In a tense courtroom, a young man's voice shakes with desperation as he interrupts the judge. challenging the leniency of a 12-year sentence for the person who murdered his parents. His anger spills over as he condemns the law, demanding justice for the cruelty inflicted on his family. The accused stands defiantly in a prison uniform, clashing with the accuser's cries, protesting the severity of his sentence. He questions how he can endure 12 years in prison, feeling unjustly punished despite the heinous crime. Emotions run high as he argues about the effort put into writing a reflection paper, yet still facing a harsh reality. The scene shifts to a close-up of the young accuser, his expression filled with disbelief and anger. The accused, with fiery red hair, reacts in shock, questioning the accuser's perspective. Questions echo in the courtroom as the accused grapples with the idea of a long sentence. The accuser challenges the accused's sense of injustice, pointing out the true victimization he suffered. A heated confrontation ensues, highlighting the stark contrast between the accused's outcry and the accuser's pain. With a fierce shout, the accuser drives home the severity of the crime. A fiery, red-haired character is fuming, clearly having been struck, and isn't happy about it, especially in a courtroom setting. The tension is thick, and this guy is not holding back his words. As the scene unfolds, the red-haired character accuses someone else of not being happy with the verdict either. Looks like there's some courtroom drama brewing. Suddenly, there's a dramatic pose, hands clenched in determination. Someone's about to make a bold move, and it ain't gonna be pretty. With a swift motion, a character leaps into action, aiming straight for the red-haired individual, who is now on the defense, hands up and cuffed. This courtroom just turned into a battlefield. The confrontation gets intense as the impact echoes through the room. Things are getting seriously out of hand. Meanwhile, the judges seem unfazed, discussing their dislike for the verdict. It's chaos, but they're staying chill, or perhaps just in shock. Amongst the chaos, a character admits ignorance about the law, but declares their intention to pass judgment themselves. Bold move, buddy. Determined and defiant, the character decides to take justice into their own hands, ready to face the consequences. Facing the crowd, another character stands firm, willing to take the fall and go to prison instead. Talk about a plot twist. The courtroom is buzzing with tension. As the dust settles, a foot taps the ground, signaling the end of this chaotic courtroom showdown. What a wild ride. Things are getting real intense as someone screams, "So you can just die right here." The energy is electric, and it looks like a serious showdown is about to go down. With a thud, someone hits the ground hard. The verdict is laid out. It's the death penalty. The tension is palpable as the words sink in. This isn't just a fight. It's a final judgment. A furious face explodes with rage, eyes wide and mouth open, blood spewing. This is a scene straight out of a nightmare. Blood spills and chaos reigns as the scene climaxes, a wild shout echoing through the air. A mysterious object drops amidst the turmoil, suggesting a violent end. A voice cries out amidst the chaos. Someone in a suit stands amid the aftermath, looking distraught. From above, we see the chaos in the room. The scream of rage echoes through the air. As the dust settles, a reflection on a life-altering moment. That's how I killed a person for the first time in my life at the age of 18. The page ends with a cliff. I gave up everything and just waited for my arrest, sighing heavily in the courtroom. But as I sat there with my bloodied hands, I realized I didn't go to prison like I'd thought. Suddenly, a man in a brown coat enters and the atmosphere shifts. With a simple time, he announces that the bastard is dead, and the room seems to agree that it's for the better. The conversation among the spectators turns dark. They mention how the bastard killed someone, and karma caught up with him. A 12-year sentence was too short, they say. Meanwhile, I sit there, absorbing the gravity of the situation. Phew, they say, watching him get beaten was refreshing. He deserved it, after all. They talk about a son who got revenge for his parents and how hells sleep well now. But I'm in a daze, wondering, what are you all saying? It's then that I notice something strange. All of the people sat still, like time had stopped. They stared into space with unfocused eyes, as if hypnotized by some unseen force. The chaos around them seemed unreal. They reveled in the murder that unfolded before their eyes, with one voice remarking on the criminal's well-deserved end. In a world of dark silhouettes and eerie vibes, something mysterious lingers in the air. A mysterious figure with a blurred face stands in the courtroom, confidently amidst chaos. The strangest part? I killed someone right there in front of the judge, but no one has held me back yet. Is this real life or some twisted game? Just what is happening? The courtroom is a sea of confusion and blood. Article 11, Paragraph 1 of the Constitution of the Republic of Korea echoes in the mind. All citizens shall be equal before the law. The trial ends, but the questions don't. A gavel's thud and a lingering mystery. I found out about this later. In a world that seems torn apart, Lady Justice stands blindfolded, holding her scales, while the sound of a gavel echoes through the air. It's like a cosmic court session is in progress, but something feels off. A lone figure in a suit stands amidst the chaos, illuminated by a spotlight. The world around him is shattered, hinting at a judgment or a fate that's been sealed. The gavel strikes again as we learn that this man has become the only person not equal before the law. It's a heavy statement, dripping with mystery and drama. The title splashes across in bold strokes, setting the stage for a story of legal anomalies and a man living beyond the law's reach.